Alrighty, what's happening everyone? It's Tanveer Saad with 10 on 1, and yeah, I'm just here to give my quick thoughts on the first semi-finals between New Zealand and South Africa of the ICC Cricket World Cup 2015, held in an empty plot of land, really small plot of land with 45,000 people around, also known as the Eden Park in Wellington. I believe it was in Auckland. Yes. First thing, grounds like this should not be hosting ODI cricket. Grounds like this is one of my biggest complaints. Ground like this should not be hosting ODI cricket. Me personally, the boundary should be at least 60 meters. At least. Otherwise, there's no point. There's no point, hitting a big shot. There is absolutely no point. When top edges go for 6, there's bad top edges go for 6. There's no point. But that being said, there was a lot of drama in this match. Don't get me wrong. This is not a bad match. In fact, this is one of the more classical matches of World Cup history. This will go down as one of the classical matches of World Cup history. Yeah. I mean, South Africa batted first, and De Kock and Hashim Amla got out cheaply. But then you had a good partnership building by Faf du Plessis and Riley Russo and AB de Villiers. And even rearguard action by David Miller, and there was a rain interruption, and in the end, South Africa ended up with, I believe, 272 or 281, yeah. And New Zealand needed to score 297 to win, or 297 or 298 to win. Okay. There was a new bowler from the New Zealand standpoint. I think his name was Henry. I think they were Matt Henry. I think that's what his name was. No, not Mark Henry. No, that guy ain't running in. That guy ain't running in and bowling a ball at like 145 Ks. No, his body's too stiff for that. They bowled pretty well. Trent bowled, did his thing. Tim Southee did his thing. Vettori tried, but this is not the ground for him, I guess. Not for batting. No, not for bowling. Okay, when it came to the batting, okay, now there was lots of overs, and New Zealand had 43 overs only, and they had to get 298 by the Duckworth-Lewis method. Okay, now. Brendan McCullum gave them a very good start, but he ended up scoring a quick 50 and then departing. And then the tail didn't do, the middle order or the top order didn't do that much after that. But then it came down to the man again, didn't it? It came down to it. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. It came down to Mr. Anderson. Okay. Because he actually played stuck in there and started hitting the ball hitting the ball pretty cleanly at times and getting required boundaries, because if you notice New Zealand always tried to keep above the run rate, and at this point, like I say, shout out to Imran Tahir. Man, he in a very dangerous situation, he actually bowled pretty well, especially during the middle overs.
5:47 p.m.
Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, during the middle overs, he actually bowled pretty well, and and in that situation, that's actually quite vital. And we knew that Vernon Philander was making a comeback, and Dale Steyn was actually not quite fit. But yeah, I feel like like after the match was over, I actually feel for the losers. Like the person who people do. I actually feel for them, man. I really do. Okay, because in the end, it came down to the last over because they're getting some wickets and Mr. Anderson got out and Daniel Vettori came in and he started like the last over was bowled by Dale Steyn. You had the left right combination. But then again, left right combination should not bother someone like Dale Steyn, right? He tried he tried bowling the delivery. Then here's where I felt like man, okay, put for good drama. But then again, when you can see the boundary rope as it literally a stone's throw away, from one end of the ground to the other, a stone's throw away. That it sort of killed kills cricket. I mean, come on, you can't walk like visually impaired cricket. The one I played for 4 years, VI cricket in the England domestics. I've played in grounds which are actually like maybe twice as big as this, and yeah, we've won matches there. I've played in grounds where a six was never hit. And that's actually one of my more favorite grounds because a six was never hit. I was just waiting like, okay, who's going to hit that first six in this ground, Charleston? Who's going to hit that first six? Okay, but still, like when a ground is like half that size, it kind of kills cricket, man. Come on, 45-meter boundary, what the fuck? But Dan Vettori was just edging stuff, edging boundaries, edging the singles. And then it came down to the man who actually remained not out and who actually proved that he is actually quite useful down the order. It came down to Grant Elliott, and who's actually a decent bowler, a decent part-time bowler. It came down to Grant Elliott, and he ended the match by hitting a six over mid-wicket. And the fucking crowd went insane. The announcers went insane. You did not hear New Zealand announcers erupt like this. You do not hear New Zealand announcers erupt like this. And congratulations to New Zealand making it to the finals. Congratulations. This is like for South Africa. Fuck yeah, I feel for them, man. A.B. de Villiers, Morley Morkel, Dale Steyn, and I believe there's somebody else. I think of Faf du Plessis. They went down. They were like crying. Once crying was too that scene was too embarrassing for them. Then only they got up we can cry here all night, but we'd like that, but we have to leave. This is a game. This is official ground. At some point we have to leave. And A.B. de Villiers, he actually said this that there's nothing that can actually alleviate this pain. There's nothing that can alleviate this sorrow. And this will take a long time to recover. And they said that we went out there, we gave everything we had, and that was not enough. So you could feel the emotion from A.B. de Villiers, man. I mean, come on, oh my God, man. I felt for it because if you remember Asia Cup 2012, one reason that finals was so significant for Bangladesh, for Bangladesh, because that was the first time we actually reached a finals playing against one of the top tier nations, a tournament against the top tier nations. We kicked them other two out, and then we played again. We played the top tier nation, and this close we came to winning our first major championship, I'll say in the mainstream, not in the indies. Put it that way. Championship held between the top 10 nations, in the top tier of cricket, by 2 runs. So that last over, I mean, oh my God! South Africa, there's nothing I can say that can alleviate this pain. I'll just say, I empathize with you, buddy. I empathize with you. As for South Africa, I was there. 2012 when that happened to Bangladesh, I was there. So this is obviously, it's not as not as severe because that was just an Asia Cup.
5:52 p.m.
But this, oh my god, man! Like, this is the World Cup, and he said like most of the players will not be there at the 2019 World Cup, and yeah, I just feel bad. I just feel bad for South Africa, man. I just feel bad for South Africa, man. Like, they still couldn't shake that off. That when it's crunch time, they will falter. They couldn't shake that off, man. Man, I feel for them. All my condolences to South Africa, but then again, a game well played by New Zealand, and this sets up a very interesting scenario. In fact, this, I mean, like, this is almost like Australia and New Zealand. Like, if they had this pay-per-view system, this is a big-time pay-per-view match. Australia versus New Zealand, and by the way, if you don't know, they're actually kind of like arch rivals. Not India-Pakistan level, but they kind of like arch rivals because they have been in rivalry for quite some time in sports. I mean, they have even I think the Chappell Hadley Trophy. So that signifies their, like, they have a trophy named after two great players in cricket. So that signifies, they have history in rivalry. Australia versus New Zealand at the MCG finals for the world title, for the world championship title. This will be much more aesthetically pleasing, if you will. This will be much more this will be much more tensed, or this will have a lot more tension and a lot more buzz than if you had an India-New Zealand final. Believe me. And by the way, the match that is going to happen tomorrow, the second semifinals, I will not be able to cover it because Thursday I have my midterms in the morning and I have class in the evening. So sorry. When it comes to exams, no, my exams come first, and that's about it. And yes, now Bangladesh have a real problem in their hands when South Africa actually come to visit Bangladesh, because South Africa will look to demolish any team that stands in front of them, especially like a smaller nation. And don't expect them to be very merciful, on the field. But quick word to the South African team psychologists: you have your work cut out for you, because events like this can actually lead to a lot of people's psychological downfalls. If you your team psychologist, you know this better than me. You know this better than me. So yeah, like I said, because in the end, like when you see that, and when you see motherfucking orangutan impersonators, like Harsha Bhogle, he said it's just in the end of the day, it's just a game, and it's all played in good fun and spirit. Shut the fuck up, okay? Take those glasses off your face, crush them up, load them up in some sort of gun, shove it up your ass, and shoot all the glass pieces right up your ass, okay? It's just the game. It's a fucking sport. There's a fucking difference. Alright, I'm looking for the concepts and suggestions. Converse signing out.